Hey guys, I'm Dina. This is Creative Minds Homeschool. Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to share with you about a tool that I am kind of introducing myself to kind of work through rough days in homeschool. Yes, we just started back. We just finished our first week and it was a rough week. So this is just something I'm going to do for my own self. Just a tool to help me grow, help me just get some benefit from as far as some perspective and everything. And this is why. When we have a rough day in homeschool, it affects my whole day. It's not like school and life are separate. This is my life. It's not like going to a classroom and leaving the classroom and coming home. This is also home. So I almost can't escape from a bad day. The same students that were my students during my school day are the same kids I have to cater to and take care of all the rest of the night. So I just needed a place to dump my thoughts and ideas and experiences and all of that. And so introduce my Homeschool Mama Journal. No, I did not go out and buy something. I just had this laying around and decided to use it for this purpose for now. So I'm just going to tell you about, after a week of journaling, kind of what went on in there. So the first thing I did was I listed the bad. Everything bad that happened each day. And I do this at night before I go to bed or right after school, depending on when I had a minute to do it. But I wrote down everything that happened that was just bad or just counterproductive or whatever. So an example would be the first day we had technical difficulties with the computer, the CDs that we tried to play, everything it was just not happening. So that was a very bad thing for us because it just delayed our process. Things the kids did that were just bad. I'm not only journaling their bad behavior, also my own. So I had a note about myself the first day that was my tone got sharp and my fuse was short when things got stressful. Note to self, let's not do that again. That's something to work on. So I listed all the bad, then I listed all the good. And this is why. I think a lot of times when we have a negative experience with our kids in school or just with ourselves or whatever, it is very easy to get tripped up and hyper-focused on the bad, the negative. Well, they did this and they did this and this was just how this went and blah, blah, blah. It is very beneficial to me. Yes, there were bad things every day. There was plenty of bad to list. But there was also, with those same kids, good moments and good things to list. And especially after a rough day, it is so good to have that moment to say, there were bad things, but look at what this little one did. Very good, very good. It just builds you back up. Some days I'm sure that we will, well, my luck in that is even if one little one was a stinker all day long, I have 3 more that there were some accomplishments, whatever. Like the first day, poor baby, I kept missing her nap cues because they can be very hard to tell sometimes, but I was very preoccupied with homeschool. But so my bad was she was giving me a hard time and having a hard time. The good was she finally did take a nap. So, there's 2 sides to every coin, and those were the 2 sides. Next thing I list is, in spite of the bad and the good, what did we accomplish? And I list, that can be subjects that we did. It could be character traits one of the things I put in the good was one of my little ones that melts down frequently. When I got sharp with her, even though she wasn't doing anything wrong, she went with, she didn't have a meltdown because I was sharp at her or get her feelings hurt because I was sharp at her. She rolled with the punches, understanding that mommy is kind of stressed right now, so I'm just going to comply and, whatever. So that was an accomplishment. That could have gone in the good and the accomplishments. It could have gotten written down twice because that was really awesome. The next thing I'm writing down is like, based on all of these things, what do we need? And this is also practical, you know, like there was a CD I needed to go make off of my computer for Everett. So I put that in there to remind myself tomorrow. Well, I'll have that ready for him. Needs could be based on the good and the bad. What do we need to do about it? What do I need to change? What do I think? Where did that come from? Because I know a lot of times too, like in the moment, when you're having a bad moment or, you know, a bad period of time in school, sometimes you are so focused, or I am so focused on do your work, that I'm losing sight of the fact that time management has gotten away from us. And now it's been 30 minutes on one subject that should have only taken 15. Move on. It's not happening right now. They're shut down. I'm getting frustrated. Just move along and circle it back around. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Tweaks, observations, whatever. And then the last thing is ideas for solving problems. And that, like for one example, is a lot of times if kids just are really having a bad attitude for the sake of having a bad attitude, I'm not talking about I don't understand and I'm frustrated. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I understand what you want me to do and I just don't want to, or I'm not interested in, just low motivation, giving me a hard time for the sake of non-compliance. Okay, we have a lot of that in our homeschool. I'm reaping what I sowed. They are the same kind of students I was. So, you know, as I recall, I don't know how my teachers got me to do it, but they got the work out of me in school. So, you know, the way I handle that here is if you're giving me a hard time for the sake of you're just not cooperating, a lot of times I assign extra chores. After school is over, well, you have X number of chores awaiting you. And so I'm using this to make a list of those. But so for me, this is beneficial because I am dumping my bad day here. Or not my bad day, just everything. It's the good, bad, and everything in between. I'm dumping it here so I can get it out of my mind. I can refer back to it. I don't have to keep thinking on it. It is a list of things that I can look back on and I can pray about. I can bring these to the Lord and just ask Him to show me what I need to see a little bit more objectively than when I'm in the moment. So it's a good way to just pray about my homeschool, just have all my thoughts in one place and whatever. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if you have any questions, comments, tell me how your first week of homeschool went. Feel free to comment down below. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe. If you are not new here, thank you for sticking around. I am so glad to have you hanging on and watching our homeschool journey. And feel free to give this video some love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Side note, story time for those who want to stick around to the very, very end. I have made this video, this is probably like my 6th take. And there is no way to positively spin, we are starting off rough. And rough seems to be the way our homeschool journey goes. You know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness. I would so love to come on here and be like, homeschooling is just the most wonderful thing I've ever done. It is. It really is. But it's also the most challenging, difficult thing I've ever taken on. And I love my kids. I love to be with them. It would be easier on many levels for me to send them down the road, but I don't want to do that. There's lots of benefit in what we're doing, but I just feel like people are gonna watch this and be like, man, what is wrong with her and her homeschool? What's going on over there? I can't sugarcoat the way things go here. And I feel like I can almost guarantee there are other people walking in my same shoes that feel the same way, and just, you might look at everyone else and think, man, why does it always go good for them? Every picture I see, every video, it just looks like they have it together. Their kids are just so la la la, let's do everything you've planned. Let's make it beautiful and wonderful. Sunshine and roses and rainbows and lollipops all over the place. And I'm over here going, what in the world? It's just not that way over here. There are great moments and wonderful moments and happy moments, but right now in this time that we're in, there's a lot of sibling rivalry. There's a lot of just raunchy, sour attitudes often. And so anyway, I just want to encourage you, if you're in the trenches, you are not alone. And I hate for the people who are thinking, I don't need a homeschool mama journal because my homeschool journey is just woo woo, like I have all the rainbows and sunshine. Well, you're hogging them and you need to stop. Send some my way, because we need some more sunshine and roses and lollipops and rainbows and, just happiness and joy. So I just don't want it. I made this video and I just don't want people to think I'm just like down on homeschooling. I'm not. It's just a reality check of this is where we are right now. It is not easy, even though we're just now starting off. And I feel like I've done everything I can to pick out the curriculum we need. It is handpicked, suited to my children. It can't get any easier, it's simplified, it's streamlined. It is what they're, it's based on what they're interested in and what they can do and whatever. But for some reason, we just struggle. And reaping what I sowed. That's all I can chalk it up to. Not really. I think also there's an element of, it's a spiritual battle. I feel like a lot of times the enemy comes in and attacks. And, is it any coincidence that, starting this week, I've really made it a habit to start waking up before my kids, waking up before the baby wakes up so I can pray and read my Bible and just really get back on track. Not that I haven't been doing that, but I've been limping along, trying to get back into making that a priority and, doing what I need to do. But at the same time, I just feel so like no matter what I do, there's this tension and fight and struggle in it. And, it's not for lack of praying. It's not for lack of all of that. It just is what it is. And, I believe that God answers prayer and He is faithful. And even though there's a struggle there, it's not always going to be this way. I have full confidence that we will move past, whether it takes a whole year, whether it takes a month, whether it takes the end of their school careers for them to look back and say, this is why this is why we were doing what we were doing. This was important, whatever. It will be worth it at some point. But, when you're in the trenches of it and going through the frustration, I just don't feel like it's right to shield everyone from the struggle, and I don't have that ability. I'm just raw and I can't help it, and it's very therapeutic for me to tell you I'm struggling. So anyway, that is my little disclaimer backstory on this whole video. So anyway, take it for what it's worth, and I hope, even though this is kind of a heavy, I feel like Debbie Downer, it's kind of a heavy video, but I really mean it. I'm putting it out there as an encouragement, especially to the mamas that are struggling like I am. It's like the little engine that could, and we're going to keep on and keep at it. So